Okay, so now we're going to create update business method inside of the business class. So open the browser, go to the classes folder and open a business class. Okay, scroll right to the bottom and let's create a few new lines so that we can actually use it. The space up here. Okay, so we start with public function update business, and all we need are all of the variables. Basically, by default, they will equal null. So first we check if is an empty vars, and this time it's going to be very simple. This db prepare update, obviously remember to make sure that it's spelled correctly, and then we pass our vars to this method and then return this db update, and we pass the table as first parameter and ID of the record, which will be 1. We will only store one record within this table. So that's everything there is to this specific method. If we save the file and close it, and now let's have a look at our table. First of all, obviously heading, which will simply go as business. Then we have method post, that's all fine. So we start with name rather than first name, and it's going to be a for name as well. Then copy this for the validate, for the name of the field and ID of the field, as well as sticky text. And we obviously are not using user here. Instead, we are using a business. So if we scroll up, business array. Now if we move down and obviously replace this user by business name, then after this, rather than last name, we will have address, and that is going to be business here, and obviously address. So for, then for the validate, for name, for ID, and parameter, and index. Okay, now the only thing about this one is it's not going to be an input field, it's going to be text area. So text area, there's no type for the text area. Class will be TAR. We can move this ID after here, class as well. And after this, we will also have calls, blank, and rows, blank as well. And then we will have value, it goes off as well. We can cut all this whole value actually from the value, and we will place it in between the closing and opening text area. Okay, so we have our address done now, and we're going to have a look at the telephone. Also, address is mandatory, name is mandatory as well, and obviously telephone is mandatory. So telephone, the same for validate, for name, for ID, and obviously index. These two parameters have to be changed as well. So that's fine. After the telephone, we have email address. So then address 2, we're going to have email, and it's mandatory. So we're going to put email for, and all these as well. Okay, that seems to be fine. After email, what we're going to have is a website. Website. And after the website, we will have VAT rate, which is our last field. VAT rate. The rate, okay, and the same thing. Okay, so after this VAT rate, we can remove all of the remaining fields, which there's postcode, country, and email address. So if we remove these, okay, so that's fine. And it is update, which will be working just the way we need it. Obviously, we still have a few things to change. One of which is all these users to be changed to business variable, array rather than variable, obviously. There we go, here and here, website and VAT rate. So this is changed. Now our website is required at the moment, which it shouldn't, so we remove this field, and I think we should be ready to test this page. So let's give it a try in the next video.